CEO Ronald Hickler from Creating a Difference. Today we're going to talk about another GOAT ball, the Venom Shock. The Venom Shock features the gear symmetric core, which has an RG of 2.48, a differential of 0.034, and a mass bias of 0 because it's a symmetrical core bowling ball. Features a turmoil MFS cover stock. The oil absorption on this bowling ball happens to be slow, which is unique. It's scanned at 4,000 grit and it comes from the factory at 4,000 grit. The layout of this bowling ball is 55 by 4.5 by 30, and we checked the hardness was 74. Now what's interesting about this particular bowling ball is this bowling ball turns 10 years old this year, which means it's probably gonna be definitely in the conversation of GOAT bowling balls. We also know that 2023 Player of the Year, E.J. Tackett, loves this bowling ball because you see it quite often in his hands striking. Anyway, let's see why we think this bowling ball should be considered a GOAT bowling ball. I haven't thrown it, this is brand new, so we are going to start out throwing it right now, freshly drilled, and see how it performs. So that the first shot always tells us roughly what we should do. Obviously there's a little bit more hook, so we will make an adjustment. Now if you've been paying attention to our GOAT series of bowling balls, you'll notice something. You'll notice that a lot of these RG and differential numbers seem to be very, very close. So if you haven't watched the other two GOAT video bowling balls, go check them out. But definitely there is a trend there. Okay, so we're gonna make a little move here. Ooh. Ooh, it just feels good. Just feels good. The shape of this bowling ball is continuous. That is also a theme of GOAT bowling balls. Continuous bowling balls will give you the most longevity of use, meaning that you can use them on a pattern for a long period of time. Also really good at being able to read the pattern and give you a good understanding of kind of what you should do next as the lane begins to break down. So why this ball would be considered a GOAT bowling ball is simply for the fact that it's very predictable in what it's going to do. Remember I said the surface grit is 4,000 grit? Well, surfaces will change and it will get to 4,700, which is stable, which it no longer changes at 4,700 pretty quick. So I also believe that that's part of the reason that this bowling ball could be considered a GOAT, because once it gets to that stable finish, it won't change, which means you're going to get less performance change on the lane. So, I mean, it's a good bowling ball, right? Like, if you're not on staff with another ball company, this ball should be in your bag. Now you say, well, why? Like, why? Well, here's the reason. Basically, the whole goal of bowling is to throw strikes, right? We all know that. Well, here's the kicker that makes this ball good. It gives you little hints when you need to make a move. So like, instead of me like 3-7, leaving a 3-7 as a lefty, or 2-10 if you're a righty, it'll be like, hey, it's a light swisher hit. Hey, like, pay attention to what's going on, because if you don't make a move, you're gonna end up leaving a 3-7. Whereas a lot of the other balls, you'll just 3-7 and that'll be the end of it. You'll be like, oh, I didn't see that coming at all. Now, I missed left there, but because it's a nice, strong, continuous ball, the ball still comes back and strikes. And that's these qualities that you're looking for. Like I said, we are playing how many strikes you get, not how they strike. Yeah. I'm gonna move around on the lane a little bit more. So we'll square it up a little bit so you can kind of see that the shape, that continuous shape, which is hook in the mid lane and continuous all the way through the pins, maintains its quality in this bowling ball. So I'm gonna move over. I'm gonna have to back my hand out of it, obviously, which is fine. and we still get the same kind of shape, the same kind of motion. Let me see really quick. So watch where that shot's at, and I'm gonna throw another one. Close, close, close. Now those balls are 2, 4, they were 12 boards apart, and I almost struck there, obviously. Let me do this. Let's make it to where it actually holds more than one shot, and that way you can see. Okay, so I'll just kind of show you in the dark. That may be easier for you to see, actually, with the tracer lines in place. Some of the versatility, right? I mean, we can create some angle with this ball, but we can also square up to it. So which means it works for lots of players. It works if you're EJ Tackett, which is obviously a super high rev rate player, or if you're me, who's more in the middle, or if you're my father, who would be more considered on the low end. It would work for all three of us because the shape is what you're looking for here and the consistency of the motion. It doesn't matter. So like those two balls on the front here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 10 boards apart in the front part of the lane. And down here, they actually get to about the same break point. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go verify that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they literally are on top of each other down here. So two completely different parts of the lane, but the shape is the exact same. And that's really important to note because that's what allows this ball to be so universally appealing. Also, if you were paying attention to our other goat balls, they were all one color. This is a dual purple color bowling ball. So this would be a little bit different from that standpoint than the other two bowling balls that we featured. It's just good. And that's one of the reasons why the Motiv Venom shock has been around for so long. That's also why it should probably be in your bag. No, 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 not today. They've used this core several times too. I do believe that it's kind of a combination of all of it though, right? It's the core, it's the cover, it's the color, and it's the finish that makes this a GOAT bowling ball. So that was a little bit off. I want to show you that. A little bit, missed a little bit to the left there. Ball still struck. Ball still struck. And that's what we're looking for. You're looking for the ability to create some area on the lane. And obviously we're bowling on a house shot, so if we were bowling on a flatter pattern, that won't be the case. I'll tell you what, if you guys are interested in us seeing this ball or any of the other balls on a sport pattern, a flatter pattern, put in the comments sport, and we'll count them up. And if we get enough, we'll redo these balls on a sport pattern. The reason why we do a house pattern is because that's what most people bowl on, right? Like the vast majority of the viewers bowl on a house pattern, so that's kind of why we are reviewing it on a house pattern. I told you not today, and I meant it. Not today. But the continuous, right? So when I say continuous, what that means is once the ball begins to make the hook in the mid lane, it keeps going all the way through the pins. That's why you see me leave or almost leave the 8-pin, because the ball keeps going. And you want that because then when I miss left, I have a chance to get the swisher hit. That also would be a little clue, right? So like I should make a little bit of a move now. I'll just move on with my feet. I dislike 7 pins, but I really dislike 10 pins because they shouldn't stay. They shouldn't stand up, they should go down. The 10 pin's supposed to go down. The 7, yeah, okay, whatever. But the 10 is supposed to fall. Better shot, better shot. And the 7 falls with it. So, versatility, usability, works for different styles of play. The surface gets to 4,700, which is stable very quickly. And last but not least, it strikes. So now you have more information about the Motiv Venom Shock. Head over to our website, ctdbowling.com. Click the 3 little lines, go to balls, type in Venom Shock, it'll pop up, purchase it. If you purchase it, you can get a sanding pad for free with purchase from us. Also, if you're not a member of our staff, join our staff. The regional staff for CTD is free to join. Just get in the group. Once you get in the group, you can ask lots of questions, you can get free coaching, and a lot of free education is involved in that group as well. On behalf of Creating the Difference, I am CEO Ronald Hicklin. Talk to you soon.